Balls Not Court podcast. Got Cortez Paul here. Kevin Carter has joined us via Skype. I always used to say right-hand side, but I feel like I didn't say that in a while, so now I'm going to say it here. He's not on my right-hand side.
Well, I am holding the phone on my right-hand side.
So, we still keep that up, the rich that he's on my right-hand side. So, but Mr. Carter, how you doing, sir? I know you was on vacation.
I've only sat on your left-hand side like once.
Yeah.
And that was when we did it from that hotel.
Yeah.
When I came down for St. Patrick's Day.
It's just a ritual that we do, man. I don't know what it is.
I think that's the only time I've sat on your left-hand side.
Man, I'm telling you. So it's just we're used to having our comfortable settings, and you being on the right. Well,
you
side,
screwed that. You screwed all that up. No.
Yeah. I know. You blew it.
Yeah, it's your fault.
So, hey, man, how was your vacation, man? I made it to Jacksonville, but I didn't get to go to your place. I just stay at my place because we had quite too many drinks. So I was like, well, I'm not going to drive all the way over there. And I kind of figured when nothing in my house was moved. Yeah, so I was like,
and I was like, yeah, Cortez didn't come.
Yeah, I was like, he was like, yeah, man, just stay on the couch, man. Your Yeti was full of vodka and cranberry, so I don't want you to drive on there. It's like, well.
But the cruise was fun though. We had a good time. I've come to realize that I'm not built to do no 7-day cruise anymore. You can put me on like a 3 or 4 day one. I'll be set. But that 7-day junk, it's a little too long. But what I've come to realize is people and their phones and staying connected is a huge, 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 huge thing now. Like, you notice it while you're walking around town, people on their phones and stuff. But when you don't see anybody using it, and then all of a sudden you hit places where they can use it, oh, my God. Like, we hit, because the first place we hit, you could get Wi-Fi. So you saw people using their phones to play on the Wi-Fi and stuff. But when we hit St. Thomas, everybody was on their phone because St. Thomas is a U.S. Virgin Island.
Right.
So you get everybody's service, and whew, boy have mercy, everybody's on their phone walking around this beautiful place on their cell phones, like looking down at their cell phones instead of looking at all the beauty that was around them. And I'm like, man, we are really connected. Like, we really don't know what to do if we can't stay connected. And it was one of them things that makes it snap into your head. Then when you went to Puerto Rico, same thing. Everybody was on their phone.
So instead of embracing all the beauty around you, they just on their phone, huh?
Yeah, you can legit look and be like, man, we rely so much. You don't realize that you rely on it so much and you use it so much as when you don't have it. Like, I didn't have it on the boat. All I had was a Wi-Fi where I could message people on Facebook.
Right.
And that was it. And I could post pictures and stuff like that. And that was it. So I wasn't on it a lot. So you kind of weaned yourself off. But then as soon as you could get it, everybody was on it like crazy. And it was just funny watching people walk around with their head down. And I'm like, man, everybody on the boat was talking to each other. Now no one's talking to each other. It's just weird to watch where you see it like that.
And of course, they're probably this is so beautiful out here, blah, blah. Check this out. This is awesome. And
people were FaceTiming people going, look at the water. Like, oh, my God, look how blue the water is. Even though there was only like 6 people on the boat that sounded like the typical white girl, because everybody that was on the boat was from either Georgia, Tennessee, or North Carolina.
So the South.
Oh, no, there was no one left in Atlanta, Georgia. They were all on our boat.
So y'all fit right on in then, huh?
It was a very dark cruise. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was a very, very dark cruise.
Gotcha. So,
but I had a blast because I fit right in.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I bet.
I had one dude. We went to the club one night, and I got along with everybody. You know me. You know how I am.
Yeah.
So I was dancing and stuff, and everybody just started talking to me and all this stuff. And every song that came on, it was almost like Pleasure Island music or older hip hop music. And you know how I am with that. I know every single word to every single freaking song that come on. So I'm singing every chord, and one of the black guys was like, here. He kind of faked going into his wallet and pulled out something. I was like, what's that? He goes, it's my black card. You can have it.
No.
He goes, here's my black card. You can have it. He goes, cause that's ridiculous. He goes, I don't know a word. He goes, I don't know half these songs. He goes, and you here knowing every single song. He's like, here, you can have my black card. So I just started laughing. And naturally, they had a basketball hoop on the court and everything like that. So I was the old guy playing basketball with all of these kids.
Oh, man.
And I held my own. One of them got all cocky and everything. He was like, I'd beat you one-on-one. I was like, look here, dude. I was like, I'm 41 years old. I was like, I'm a cancer patient. I'm 41 years old. I said, if I was your age again, I would kill you. Like, I would legit beat the punk out of you on this court. I said, right now I can barely chase you around because I'm tired. I said, don't start talking junk to old people, because then you'll force me to get out there again, and then you'll force me to beat you.
Like, let's just have a shoot-off competition, and every shit like, let's shoot the ball.
Oh, no. What happened was he kept talking. And a couple of the guys I got in good with, they were these kids were AAU ballers.
Right.
And the guy was like, nah, you find you 3 people and put with you, and we'll play 4-on-4. He's got 3 people to play with him. So I got one dude that was an AAU baller. Another guy was from Jacksonville, and he was caught. He was a big diesel dude. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm playing with him. And then I had a real other tall guy, and he was like, I'm going to play with him too. We commenced to wearing their butts out. And the one guy was talking all the trash, was guarding me the whole time. And I'm like, so you're just trying to make a point that you could play against me, but you're willing to lose a whole game just so you can make a point. Yeah, because you ain't going to score. I said, it ain't about me scoring, buddy. I said, you don't know the game of basketball if you're thinking it's all about you. I was like, we whipping y'all's butts. I haven't even had to do nothing. And then they gave me the ball like 3 times, and I scored on him easily. And I was like, now, how about that? I was like, now can you get to going and playing basketball? But I realized the younger and younger people get, the more and more that what you heard from white men can't jump is coming about.
Yeah.
That guys would rather look good and lose than to look bad and win when playing basketball. And I'm like, that's y'all's problem. I said, y'all rather look good and win a basket and lose a basketball game and say, well, I look good, than to look like crap and your team win. I was like, that's just. But the fun part was all these kids knew I played, and a lot of them were 18, 19, 17, 18, 19-year-old guys, and they would ask for advice. And you don't see that very often.
Right. With
the youth of the day, they were like, dude, well, what would you do? What kind of things did you do? Because they seen I could shoot, and they seen I pump faked and did all this stuff and everything. They said, well, what can I do to help make myself better and everything like that? And I just talked to the guys, and they literally would sit there and listen. There was one guy, really, he would just sit there and listen to everything that somebody would tell him, because he keeps soaking in knowledge, because he wanted to play basketball.
Right.
And he was a good kid too. He was tall. He was about 6'4", but he could jump out of a gym. And he was a good basketball player. He dunked on some poor fat kid. When he dunked on the dude, I just started laughing. Or I tried not to laugh. I did that, that smile, and then I put my hand over my face and just turned the other way. Because the big dude tried to jump with him.
Why?
That's what I said. I said, why? He jumped with him, and he just boomed it right in his face. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I did the hand over the face, and I just turned the other way because I didn't want to laugh.
You did like the black guy on the piano that we watch on Twitter, the memes, the gifs. Yeah. You try not to laugh.
I was just like, I was like, don't laugh. Don't even look that way. And I looked at him, and I said, why the fuck did you dump on that big man like that? He goes, I didn't think he was dumb enough to jump. I said, but no, all in all, though, it was a good time. I spent a lot of time at the basketball court. I spent a lot of time just hanging out on the boat and talking to kids and stuff like that. And it was fun. We watched the finals. Got to meet Brad Daugherty.
Yeah.
He was on the boat. So that was kind of cool. He was there with a bunch of his family members, and his brother was there. Brad never came down to watch any of the basketball game. His brother was there, and his brother was talking junk to everybody. His brother's an old school basketball fan. He's like, there's no way this motherfucker better than Jordan. There's no way. Oh, he was going off. And I'm laughing the whole time because he was getting drunk and then yelling at people. So it was doubly funny. And I was like, man, this dude going all in.
He's arguing with the LeBron fans on the boat.
Oh, so many. So we'll get into that later. Okay. But there's just so many of them on the boat. And you can legit, and by watching the games with these guys and you pointing, because all of the LeBron fans are younger, you saw a cutoff point to where people were going, Mike is the best and LeBron's the best. You saw the cutoff point in age. Mm-hmm. You saw it. And when you're telling people this stuff, they're not wanting to see it. But then when they're watching the games, you're literally watching the game with them and showing them, look, dude, this is what I'm talking about. This right here is what I'm meaning by this. And you can tell them and show them, and then you can physically see what I'm telling you while you're watching the basketball game. But then some of them still can't admit it. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're literally witnessing it, but yet you can't admit it. I had to use witness in there.
That's funny. Well, when you speaking about that, well, I know you're going to relate some stories to the boat there, but this series, man, as me and you had this discussion weeks ago about this series, and you picked it to go 5, and I picked it to go 4, and Cleveland really had their shot to get that first game. And
after game 1, you knew it was going to be a sweep after game 1.
Yeah, so I didn't talk to you about that, man, but that first game, man, just the mental errors in that game that was just setting them up for failure by George Hill and J.R. Smith. What's your thoughts on that whole take and that whole scenario at the end of the fourth quarter of that first game?
Well, the end of the game, we all know J.R. Smith's a crazy idiot anyway. But the guy missing the free throw was the big part of it.
Oh, yeah, and that's what everybody's not talking about.
He missed the free throw. He makes it. You ain't got to worry about J.R. Smith running the opposite way.
But see, that's the thing.
Everybody's clanked the free throw.
Everybody's criticizing J.R. Smith just, because it's the last thing they've seen. But, you're right. You should be talking about the free throw.
Dude clanked the free throw. Yeah. And everybody's blaming the refs and stuff. The reason Golden State was in it because they changed the charge call to the thing. Well, first off, when they changed the charge call, they actually got it right after they changed it because it was a charge. LeBron was moving the whole entire way. He was going up underneath him. So it wasn't a charge call. So they ended up getting it right after they got it wrong, after they were reviewing something else. So they reviewed the play thinking he was in the area. He wasn't in the area, but he dang sure was moving in towards him as he was coming in. He wasn't planted. And people were like, well, that was a charge. No. To get a charge, you have to be planted and in a defensive position. You can't still be sliding into the guy whenever you do it.
And see, that's a great.
They got the call. They ended up getting the call right.
And I thought it was the other way around. But that's why I said they reviewed it, and he was out the restricted paint and whatnot. But you can't send that pin at one point in the game. But whatnot.
Exactly.
It's
the Cleveland had plenty of chances to end them.
Yeah.
They had plenty of chances to end them. Kicking the ball out to somebody else and shooting a three-pointer, and it's going